Hello, everyone. Teresa Payton. I'm going to read you another excerpt from my book. So, a lot of you may be following the headlines around COVID-19 and China and the manipulation campaigns coming out of China. They, for the record, deny conducting a manipulation campaign. So, I thought it'd be good to give you just a sneak preview, just a little excerpt on some of the research that I did on China. And if you want sort of a more in-depth view of what they're doing and other countries are doing as it relates to topics such as COVID-19, but many other topics, including elections, you can read my new book, Manipulated. But this will just give you a little sense and a little context for what you're seeing in the headlines. This is from Chapter 2. China hones its story at home before launching it abroad, believing that by influencing its vast population, it can influence how other countries see them and possibly soften tariffs, sanctions, and trade negotiations. Social media manipulators and internet influencers are considered a vital part of that strategy. China designed a program called the Good Netizen. That's the name of their program. And asked their youth to get involved through the Communist Youth League of China's volunteer campaign to civilize the internet. That's their term, to civilize the internet. So what conventional wisdom, so sort of the way you and I look at a manipulation campaign and might say that's not what you promoted there is not true, or this is disinformation. They characterize social media manipulation, misinformation, and fake news as public opinion guidance. And there was a leak of emails in late 2014. Now, you'll have to read more details about that case, but suffice to say, they actually found, buried within those emails, correspondence. And in that correspondence, they talked about how they were directing citizens to promote pro-China information to its own citizens and to the world. So they referred to them as the Wumeo, or the 50 Centers. The 50 Centers are known to personally attack Chinese liberals who speak out against China. They were nicknamed the 50 Centers in the early days of the Chinese One Nation because they were allegedly paid the equivalent of 50 cents per every positive post that they did. And so it's really interesting. And then I go on to tell a little bit about a report that came out in 2017 from Harvard University, Stanford University, and the University of California, San Diego, which talks about the fake news story. So how effective or how much volume were these 50 centers, the Wumeo, what were they able to actually pull off? Well, this research found that an estimated number of fake news stories that those operatives posted 488 million such fake news stories. I mean, that's an incredible amount of volume to have people posting. And so what's interesting is, for example, I write about a case where Lady Gaga spent some time with the Dalai Lama, who was considered a foe of the Chinese government regime. And so basically on the Twitter equivalent of Weibo, you saw the Wumeo actually saying very negative things about Lady Gaga. So that is just an example, just a couple examples of how the manipulation campaigns happen in China. Now, I know I've talked about China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and some of these little snippets, but believe me, they're not the only ones conducting these campaigns. Tune in the future, or read the book to find out more. Thanks. Appreciate it. Be safe out there. Be healthy. Be well. And definitely don't be manipulated.